Thank you for listening to Life Improvement Radio. You are listening to a rebroadcast of a previously recorded show.
We're back to Author's Corner, powered by Life Improvement Radio, the Toll Education Network, TollTutor.net for more information. Twitter, Toll Tutor, Neil S. Haley, Facebook, LinkedIn, Neil Haley, Instagram, Total Tutor, Pinterest, Neil Haley, and Google Plus, Neil Haley, all the different places to find myself. And we continue the process as we're kind of winding down, which is going to make me sad. About an hour and a half left of broadcasting. Amazing authors today, amazing authors yesterday, and 6-week journey up to the book fair where I interviewed about 4 authors a week. So let's continue the process and have some more fun. So we have 2 authors on the line. So I guess we're going to do the back and forth, handing the phone to each other. I want to welcome to the program Tamara Green and Shannon Adams. Tamara, thanks for being on the show. And also Tamara, thanks for being on the show. And also Shannon. So how are you guys?
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
All right. So Tamara, let's kind of like jump into specifically enough your background, and then you can hand the phone to Shannon, and then we'll get into the book for sure.
Okay. Well, actually, I am a storyteller, and a storyteller is not a person who just reads books to children, but I am actually a performer of stories. So I'm a storyteller, and Shannon Adams is also a storyteller. I'm with the Florida Storytelling Association, and Shannon is the recipient of the Virginia Rivers Youthful Voices Scholarship, and that's a scholarship for young storytellers in the state of Florida.
Oh, I had one of the most fascinating storytellers from South Carolina, Beulah, South Carolina, on my show. I forget her name, and it's because I've interviewed so many people, but I'll have to keep connect with you guys on Facebook and introduce you to her as well, because, I mean, storytelling is just a tremendous art in so many ways, and I'm so glad that you're able to add to that process, because the ability to engage your audience is tremendous, isn't it?
Yes, it is. You can get so many people engaged in your stories, and there are different kinds of stories that people connect with. There are personal stories, there are traditional stories like fairy tales and tall tales, myths, folk tales, and then on the other hand, there are also personal stories that people can connect with as well.
All right, well, let's get Shannon. Hand me the phone to Shannon real quick, and I will ask a question to Shannon, and then we'll go back and forth. Sound good?
Okay.
All right,
okay,
great.
Here's Shannon.
All right, so we're waiting on Shannon to jump on the line, and then we'll ask some questions to Shannon as well. And, hi, Shannon. How are you?
Good.
Fantastic. Tell us a little bit about your background as well. You're a storyteller, isn't that correct?
Well, I started storytelling in 3rd grade, and I've been doing it ever since.
Oh, wow. So how old are you, by the way, Shannon?
10.
10 years old. How is it intimidating to be doing storytelling in front of a lot of people? Intimidating, like to have the situation where you have a big audience and you have to tell stories. Do you get nervous?
Not really.
Not really? How did you get involved in it, learning how to tell stories?
My mom is a professional storyteller, so I've been growing up with stories all my life. And her name is Katie Adams. And when I was in 3rd grade, my reading teacher and my mom got together, and pretty much everyone in my 3rd grade class for reading did storytelling, and then I've been doing it ever since.
Oh, that's tremendous. And how do your classmates think? What do your classmates think about what you do?
Actually, they don't really keep up to date on it, so.
You don't tell them? You don't toot your own horn saying I'm a very accomplished storyteller?
Not really.
Well, that's good. You're humble. That's good. Do you plan on being a professional storyteller like your mom? Hello? Yeah, do you want to be a professional storyteller just like your mom?
Well, maybe.
Maybe. Okay. Well, fantastic. Let me get Tamara back on the line, and it was good talking to you, Shannon.
Hi.
All right. So, okay. So when we're talking about, specifically enough, Tamara, about the storytelling process, what do you think? It's the fun thing about one of it is the audience, right? Engaging with the audience, correct?
Yes. How I got involved in storytelling was I was at a conference, at a school conference, And I saw a lady by the name of Virginia Rivers telling a story. Virginia is out of Tampa, Florida. And she also worked with a group, and it's based in Hillsborough County. It was the Creative Arts Department. And what they would do is they would go out and they would tell stories. They would put on short plays and puppetry shows and that kind of thing. And so one day Virginia was at a conference that I attended, and I saw her telling a story. And when I saw that, I said, I can do that. And I've been telling stories ever since. So Hillsborough County is really a big place for involving students in storytelling. As a matter of fact, the Hillsborough County Storytelling Festival is one of the largest of its kind that really promotes students, young children, telling stories. So I've been working with that ever since I met Virginia Rivers, and that's been about 20 years, I would say.
That's tremendous, and this is something you plan on doing forever, it sounds like, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like when you get that bug, that storytelling bug, and you get bitten, you're just not going to give it up. It's just something it's so fun, and there's so many opportunities to tell stories. You can tell stories in school libraries and in hospitals. People go to hospitals and tell stories. There's storytelling at churches and community centers, after-school programs. There are a lot of places that you can tell stories. Stories can be used for telling history, the history of people, the history of the city. So it's something that can be used in all settings.
Yes, in all settings, and it's a great way for your audience to learn through storytelling. They learn so much because you get to interact with them, but also you get to teach them at the same time.
Right, and a lot of teachers are finding that the best way to teach a lesson is tell a kid a story, and they'll remember a story. They can tell you the details of what happened in that story. So that's a good way of teaching lessons through story.
And what I was able to do as a teacher is, you're right, tell those stories. They always wanted to hear a story. And one thing that I didn't like always to tell them was I was a professional wrestler, and I'd have to go and tell them a story about those days. So, but I would tell them stories about specific things, and it was definitely a lot of fun, to say the least. Kids just are willing to pay attention to stories as well. And then when you make it exciting and fun and interactive, there's nothing like it, right?
That's right. I think some of the best stories, especially when you're dealing with kids, they'd have to be interactive things. Facial expression and a little moving around. And if you have some kind of musical instrument, they just enjoy that. It's just a wonderful time when you can get children interacting with you in a story.
Okay, where's the best place we can find information on you? Is there a way for so our listeners can find out more information, especially in the Florida area? We do have syndication on a few Florida radio stations, Tampa, and also Orlando, and all those different places. Where's the best place we can find information on you so that our listeners can go ahead and, if they're interested in having you come out, to do some storytelling?
Well, you can go to our webpage. The Florida Storytelling Association has a webpage, and they have a listing of storytellers. And that webpage is www.flstory.com. And I have my own webpage. It's Tamara, Tamara, vgreen.com. This Tamara, Tamara, vgreen. GREEN.com. I have my own page, and you can Google me up as well. And I also just want to throw out there that this March the 5th through the 8th, the Florida Storytelling Association will be having their festival in beautiful Mount Dora, Florida. That's March the 5th through the 8th. And our national storyteller this year will be Sheila K. Adams and Christopher Agostino. And if you've never seen those two, you're in for a treat. And Christopher Agostino, he's a storyteller that tells a story and does face painting at the same time.
Oh, I don't know how that can happen, but that's going to be quite interesting, to say the least. So our listeners definitely need to check out those different things. So best of luck. Enjoy the rest of the book fair, and I appreciate you guys calling.
Okay, so thank you very much.
All right, take care. Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You're listening to Author's Corner, powered by Life Improvement Radio. And we'll be back in just a moment.
Thank you for listening to Life Improvement Radio. The views expressed by show hosts or their guests are their own and shall not be construed in any way as advice from Life Improvement Radio. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our website. Personal perspectives expressed by the producers, writers, or editors will always be presented as such. Any rebroadcast or retransmission without the expressed written consent of Life Improvement Radio is strictly prohibited. Thanks for listening.